What up, everyone? This is Streamers as always. Uh, this time is just gonna be Super Mario Randomizer, which is this Mr. X like taking care of.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, I don't know, since you're the only one who has a game, not me. Wonder if any of the others will show up. I mean,
Probably. But we'll see.
Super Mario Randomizer is always is an interesting game.
Yep. Just give me one sec. Alright.
Oh boy. Well, this day has been energetic, drain of energy. It's because of my sister and her 5 kids. There was supposed to just been two of them, but and I like five. Oh boy. I was drained immediately of energy. So after they left, well, the three older ones, I took a nap.
We're good. Let me just fix this camera. Come on, you goddamn piece of technology. Get that. There's all this. Get it a little closer. There we go. That's better. Nice. Okay. And now I'm ready for however long we do this for.
Probably 2 hours, give or take.
We'll see if I have enough energy for 2 hours of this. I've done it before, so it's not wild to think. But now I need a seed. Or a few seeds or whatever. If Malachi comes in, he'll probably give a few. Five, four, 5, 7, huh? That's our first seed. That's not a 5, that's a 6. All right. Oh wait, that's the wrong way around. Hold on a second. 6, 4, 5, 7.
Well, Cool Lane is here in the comments. Or subcode. Yeah, we're just gonna do some
Of this.
Super Mario Randomizer today.
I'm not just making sure the seed Swedish put isn't already on here. Because it wouldn't be, fun if we did the same seed twice, now would it?
Nope.
Let's see here. I don't think it's on here. All right. So either we've done it before and I just, did whatever, but. Or we haven't done it yet. We'll see. And if Cody wants to put a number in there, you have to remember it has to be lower than 65,535. Don't ask why it's so specific. I actually don't know. And over 275. This is the file, my personal file, when I just want to play on my own. So, and I got into 265. So, that's your. Ah, yes, our first Mario, and he looks excellent. So yeah, just to explain this to Cody real quick. Basically what this is it's It's Mario 64, except everything's in random places. And where you go is random too. So I just went to Dire Docks. That would have taken me somewhere else in the actual game. And yeah, I don't know why I have, but I do, and it's great. Looks purple. Yeah. Well, his overalls are purple, but for some reason,
Yeah,
like, doesn't like when I play this, so it'll like
dark
show
purple.
Mario as something else. When in actuality, he's brown. Well, his hat and his shirt is brown and not purple. I'm assuming that's the color that you think is purple.
You may have snow, Cody, but our snow that we have here is right now is melting away because we're having above zero, but temperature is above 30 degrees.
Yahoo!
So, so that's like
Jeez.
no fun at all. I was looking forward to the white snow, but it's gonna be colder again sometimes later next week. I think it was gonna be. Let's see. Well, they estimate around 19 degrees, give or take. I don't, I don't mind. Dead Rising free on Xbox One. Hmm. Never heard of that game.
I don't have an Xbox, so I can't play it anyway.
Yeah, me either. And I never even heard of that game, so I mean, there are many games that I never even heard of.
Mario, just slide off. That wasn't even like a slidable spot. You just kind of slid. It didn't even make any sense. I don't understand. Oh, jeez. Right. Why did the water world take me to literal hell? I don't understand.
Hmm. So you've been up to otherwise?
Not much.
Same here.
Oh, don't fall off. Okay, fell off. Mario, what was that? He just dove right into the lava. He just decided, you know what? I want to do lava diving today. Why not? All right, whatever. Whatever, Mario. If you want to go lava diving, that's your problem. And I missed. I'm too good. Clearly.
Well, Kubo is apparently online, and who knows if Kubo will join in?
Wait.
That's up to him.
Princess Toadstool's castle is just ahead. Yep, I see that castle, all right. Thank you for telling me that. Yep, it's definitely there.
Whew.
Is there another metal cap around here somewhere that I can use? Oh. Apparently not. Cool. Both of them are in the
Lottery?
water. That's just great.
Huh. So how much in the price of the lottery though? Cody.
How am I supposed to get that?
50,000. Whew. Now, wow. Now that's a lot of money. You know, if you were to convert that to my country's currency, it would have been roughly half a million. I don't know why or how that even works. you know, economics, not my strongest subject. oh my gosh. The most I actually win in a, well, scratch lottery was about 1,000. You know,
Those things
I
are rigged.
I know that this that US has this big national lottery that you can win a lot of money from that. Um, I know that there were actually I believe this it was actually the highest uh, um, price in it. I think it was about, well, when I read about it in my on my news, it was converted like up to its 1.4 billion. But that, not in dollars, but in my country's currency, it was worth much. But I think it was about 4 or 5 people that actually was sharing the same number, so they had to be split up in 4 or 5 people. But still, that's a huge profit. I remember some years ago. This was more than 10 years ago. A family in Sweden actually were on vacation, and when they came home, they literally find out that they had hit one of the biggest prize in the lottery in modern times, over 200 million. And they said that they wanted to spend solid money to remodel their kitchen. It's insane. I mean, I noticed some people are actually using the same number for years in hoping to win any sort of you know high profit or prices on that because it's incredible it can actually happen. there
Hmm.
is one that's kind of not national but more as a European version of jackpot. It's called Euro jackpot. Most countries in that has actually win that is either um, it's either Germany or Spain or Finland. None in my country has never even been able to win that. Well, a few times, but mostly Germany. I think the most profitable was around uh almost. I think it was around 900 million. If that would have been the case, I would like, hallelujah, I don't need to work anymore. Game guy, if you do win 50,000 or 1 million, what would you do?
Honestly, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do most. Well, technically, I already know. Most of it is just simply, well, not buying any car or anything since one, I don't even have a license and never even tend to go into buy any one. So yeah, mostly just spend some of the money on myself, a little bit of it. Of course, able to try to figure out a way to go see my girlfriend in the US. despite now that my parents won't even allow me for as long as I live at home. Other than that, well, maybe donate some of the money to some charity. Other than that, I just don't know what else to spend on it all. But as many people who eventually wins like a huge prize in lottery usually change their behavior, like buys the most fashionable car, new clothes, maybe a new house or the most expensive apartment or maybe a penthouse or something like that. People can sometimes change when it comes like that. And in fact, I heard this story from my dad. There was this older rich man, millionaire or multimillionaire from Scotland. He was so rich, but he lived in a completely almost trashed home. Here's the most one of those disturbing about it. When he was using a bathroom, when he used the toilet papers, he didn't flush them down. He just put them on for drying. He put them on. He just hang them up to dry and use them again, even though he used the number two on the paper. Literally, it's just disgusting and weird. I don't know what that happened actually though. Well, I might just continue to work myself as well though. Though this actually happened to, well, not directly to my family, but some years ago. This was around. This actually happened not, like I said, not directly to my family, but this shortly happened sometimes after when I was born. Well, I was around maybe 2 years old. My parents, they decided to move out from the house that we were living in since my mom had to clean the house maybe up to almost 2 to 3 times per day because I had asthma at the time and I was really had a hard time to breathe. So we sold the house and a rich man bought it. But did he move in? No. They even take care of the house? Not at all. The whole yard would became like a jungle. The grass was almost, I don't, I would say almost knee high, tall grass. And the house itself, like those, it was like even the bushes that was facing the street, it was kept always in a certain height. But he never took care of that either. It grew taller and taller. It was almost as tall as the house itself on the height. And here was the rumors about this. This man rumored to actually had bred rabbits, which he killed and had some, which he eat. I don't know if that rumors is correct or not. It's just something I heard about it. And another thing is, same man bought another house in another different neighborhood, more closer to the center of the city. In that neighborhood, there was a lot of houses that were worth could have been worth from 5, maybe 10 million, and I was like, okay. And some of the houses it didn't look like a normal typical house. Some of it could have been more like a smaller mansion type of style home. And this house that this man bought, the second one, he let it fall in disrepair. Literally let it just fall apart. I mean, according to my dad, when he told me this man allowed people to camp in the backyard, and when they were finished, they could pour the old oil from the car in the ground, which is not even allowed. It's illegal to do that. But I don't know. And another thing is, this house, the backyard eventually was almost unable to, you know, was almost on you couldn't even have access to the backyard because he never kept maintained the backyard by the trees or the grass. It because one day when I me and my dad just walked by the house some years ago, it was like a jungle there. I'm not joking. It was like literally a jungle, and in this house had this underground garage and a driveway there. This it was like a big tree growing middle of the driveway. I was like, "Are you serious?" I mean, it was just
Hmm.
insane. I don't tell you. But eventually, the man passed away, and both houses, that both properties that he bought, one of them where I used to live, was abandoned eventually and was torn down. And that was a parking lot for a business there. And the second house, well, it's actually had been restored. Even the outside of the building looked very decent, but the used to look inside was different. I don't know how this looked like, but I'm just saying, if you guys had saw it how they look from the beginning and now, you wouldn't even believe that was the same house because now it has been split into like a ground level apartments or something like that. The even the underground garage has been removed. The at least the driveway has been covered up, filled in, all that. And even there's the outside appearance, it looks like almost as it could have been like a church. I'm a bit surprised of that. But I mean, the city actually bought the house and they started to remodel the house to two separate homes, and it's incredible. And keep putting
Yeah.
random,
What's
and
up?
as good as it's keeping random numbers. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done that type of lottery, well, ever, like in years. But if a person is rich and buys other properties and just don't even maintain them at all, why do you buy so many properties and doesn't even take care of them? Like you don't really take care of maintain the yard, the house itself, and just letting it just full disrepair. I mean, what kind of I mean, if you're a rich, you can simply afford to hire a company that can easily repair, uh, you know, to
Well,
simply
actually, hold on. I need something real quick.
maintain it. I mean, if you're rich and you can always hire a company that can maintain your property for you if you can't do it yourself. I don't understand why you do that. I mean, if I was rich, I would made I would always make sure always to be maintain my properties and all that, but just letting the house and the big property just fell disrepair is always a big risk that if people seeing the house has been unoccupied for a while and someone there seems to no one that no one isn't maintaining the yard, people might just think, oh, this house is abandoned and I can just move in. That's another problem with when it comes to squatters. People can just assuming that house was just like that. Well, Cody, even if you were right helping people around, sometimes people can even take your advantage of you, asking for some money, and it's like, really? I don't know why that happens. Because, okay, yeah, I know, but you should always be cautious when it comes to like people like that. I mean, I'm saying if not everyone is very friendly, others will demand in some reason. Okay, I saw this video. This was like an anime um, manga style, where this for some reason people can actually see your search history on what you've been searching online. Like say, um, how do I get rid of uh, how to find under how to find the cheapest food in the area, or there was one guy, one male student in high school. He did actually win 500 million, not in dollars, but in yen. And he actually forgot about it that his search history was visible above his head. And when he got to school, all the other students saw this, especially the girls. And I don't tell you, he had to run for his life. And even when he's in public, other people could literally see um, the search history on his above his head, and that he win the highest lottery. And people almost approached him, like asking that he can help him to maintain or handle his big prop lottery prize and all that. There were even women who literally approached him, thought that now they were like maybe some women like in their early 20s to mid 20s and even they're in their 40s, approaching him, almost demanding him to give some of the money because they thought that he is selfish. But I was like, what? Okay, at least the part that had your search history above your head is not even possible. But if it was, well, that would have been embarrassed, especially what you've been looking at. I mean, depend on like, let's see if Game Guy is searching a lot of for fanfic stories about Mario, Peach, or some other like that, or reading some stories and all, or simply reading out news or something that's crazy. Or as for my case, I'm probably like searching for a lot of MLP material for my stories and all. Okay, that was like, okay. Not many in my family doesn't even know that I'm actually a brony. Not because I'm ashamed of it. It just, never actually came a topic of the brought up though. But my family knows that a, actually still into cartoons, even though I'm in my early 30s. Even though you can still be like in your 60s or even you're 100 years old, but still be into cartoons. So no matter what age you are, you can always love cartoons. And I'm not ashamed of that. Even though, even the only one of those MLP generations I pretty much didn't like much. I think it was the G3, but that was only broadcast on TV around. I think it was mid to late 80s to maybe it's early 90s. Well, I wasn't much a big fan of that. I mean, in that one, Twilight, Rainbow, and the others didn't exist. Well, it is. I think it is though. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know. If, I don't know if Cody knows this though. But when he mentioned that he's gonna wait for that he's waiting for part two of Christmas special uh, generous gifts about Spike and Rarity from Scribbler Production. Um, I think this actually, I don't know if it was only it happened this year or if it was last year, where Scribbler actually had a big problem. There were two things that happened to her life at the time. One, a stalker was around her life at the time. I don't know if that's been taken care of. And this was actually mentioned to Dash. He told us that Scribbler's channel were in the risk of being shut down permanently. But it seems to have been solved by that. I think it was one that someone actually tried to using her identity and and yeah, it's horrible why that happens. But you know, online harassments try to take someone's yeah, Cody. Bad things happens all the time. You never know what is gonna happen. Huh? Cotton Candy Mario. Um, a good friend of mine. Um, um, she actually had were harassed on YouTube. This was only about a few years ago. This was way before I even knew. Um, this was before any of know most of my friends on online. This was before even my streamings. I think this. I think it was so close to. Um, I think it was close to about 6, 7 years ago, give or take. Um, my friend was harassed by a bully, and I was, well, I was devastated. But eventually, she and this bully became friends. Surprising that though, I didn't expect that to happen. And bad things happens all the time. I actually, well, this is where it doesn't. It had happened a few things like to me, but one, this doesn't really count as a bad thing. That I had a few comments in my uh on some of my videos where they were not like an actual comment, but they were more like someone actually put an ad for more like a dating site, not like at your typical dating site, but more for a flirting type of or the triple X dating site. But I always deleted those comments immediately. I mean, but after a while, they just simply stopped, and I glad for that too. I mean, they were just. I mean, I wasn't felt bothered much about it, but it just happened a couple of times. But in the early times, the early days when I first started doing my stories, I did actually being approached by several people at the time saying that my some of my videos that the grammar was completely bad or didn't make no sense at all. But they were not like harassment comments or anything. They only pointed out that my grammar in my early stories was didn't make no sense. And honestly, though, I wasn't really upset though by it. I completely understood that because at the time I used Google Translator for most part of my videos. Still do. Well, a few occasions, but otherwise, not anymore. And I mean, that was a time when I just, I mean, it was just about before I could literally spelling uh uh English as well now for computer, but and I thought also using Google Translator would save me time in making stores. Like I said, I'm still using Google Translator, but only for occasionally when I need translators on words. I mean, I know how to sound like or how to speak it or say it, but sometimes some English words I can't spell. I mean, since after all, English is not my native language. It would make sense though. So yeah, and I should also mention that any of my upcoming stories on my channel are not gonna. There won't be any. There won't be MLP stores. Well, well, except for those for Christmas, which is gonna be 15 stores. But the most of the stores that's gonna be uploaded for each beginning on the week is gonna be non-MLP stores. It's just I have a lot of those stores there. And by next year, well, I hope that there is many more to be make. But yeah, I mean, and honestly, though, I never actually planned to have this story to be a long run. They were just supposed to be just a few characters, and that's it. I was really at first. I wasn't really much a fan of G4. I mean, it was just something I had heard about and saw a few videos about it, and well, I decided was just why not to look at it and see what it can be about, and I got hooked. So yeah, so I might just simply continue to make my stories as much as I can, and currently I'm working on
Guys,
one of the one of the last stories. Um, it's almost done. It's about 30 minutes long. Um, most of my Christmas stories that I will post on the day on Christmas Day will actually be around 30 minutes long. And well, I'm surprised that stories are actually happening. You know, I was considering to do more, you know, G5 stories by next year and G4, but who knows? One day they want me just be. I want to be surprised if it's going to be a G6, but let's hope not for another number of years. It would be shocking. Hoping to get for Christmas. Well, not much of this. I usually wish for the same thing: clothes, money. That's pretty much it. Um, but I usually maybe some maybe candy, a book, perhaps. But who knows? I wish I could have could find a book of cryptids, but it's hard to say. What do you wish for Christmas, game guy? Except for the new games.
uh, honestly, just I don't know.
Hmm, a lava lamp. I I actually used to have one, but I haven't
I
even used it in. I don't even have it anymore. It's just, oh right, but like what? A girlfriend in a box, open like, here I am. Oh my gosh, that would be something. Well, well,
I
well.
okay.
Isn't our friendly Kubo the bad woman?
Hell, you bunch
I'm
of
gonna get these three
snitches.
stars if it kills me, which it will.
What are you doing here, Mr.
Also
Lady?
high.
Oh, I just came from a Creole restaurant.
Creole? Oh, I know what you
Oh
mean.
what?
A Creole? Creole is it's a not nationality, but it's a uh
It's Asian
type.
food.
Yeah, it's like more culture based on like French cuisine and like that. I think actually Creole this cuisine is actually very common in the South in
Yet
US. It is,
the meat
but
is really good though. Ugh.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know because I never tried it.
You should. It's really good. Well, I mean that is if
I
you
mean,
have.
I wouldn't. I mean, I would try it. It just really haven't been much a fan. The much of things common over here. But you know, uh, I
Oh
haven't really
yeah, I forgot
tried.
you didn't have like
Really?
all the cultures in your country. Oopsie.
My country is multicultural, the multi-regional culture. So I mean, I have tried many different cultures like Chinese food, and to be honest, at least some of the Chinese food was not for me. It just it was too spicy. I can't handle too spicy though. But I don't mind. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't like Chinese food. It's just as long as it's not too spicy. I mean, if it's too spicy, then you can't literally, you know, um, you
Yeah.
really can't. You can't really feel the taste of it. I mean, it's like I, well, as I once tried hot dogs, or well, no, it was actually hot dogs made of chicken meat, and thanks, but no thanks.
Chicken dogs.
Yeah. I tried it once, but not ever again. It just wasn't really my thing. The reason why I tried it, it was just I was around 16 or 17. I was still in school though. Um, one of my classmates was actually Muslim, and he couldn't even eat. Um, well, he couldn't eat our that we eat. He wasn't allowed to eat pig meat, like pork and all that. So we had him to eat chicken meat or chicken hot dogs or chicken meatballs, and I think it's actually not a bad as an ultimate like an like a second choice. But yeah, so I choose not to be one to try chicken hot dogs ever again since I didn't like the first time. Spicy food, well, I don't mind it. I don't mind spicy food, but it just
Oh,
well,
I love spicy food.
well, first of all, Kuvu, you can you shouldn't eat it too spicy because it could be dangerous.
I know, but every time I have the chance to like eat something spicy, I'm just like, oh, I gotta try that.
Well, that might be true, though. I mean, one time I actually even tried uh what was it? Man, what was it? McDonald's burger. I think it was El Domino or El Diablo, and
Ooh.
it was actually said to be one of the spiciest burgers they had at the time. I tried it, and it wasn't even that spicy as it's claimed to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, if you're used to the spiciness, then some of them will not even like affect you.
true. I mean, another thing is that you can't eat too spicy because eventually, it's it will only damage your stomach. You can burn a hole in it, and even your intestines could be affected by it. So as long as you don't take too seriously, like people
Yeah.
actually do this, as many people do this challenges, like
Oh
eating
yeah.
ghost pepper or North Carolina Reaper challenges. I can
Oh
understand. I mean, I can understand if people like those spices, but just don't overdo it. I mean, another most stupid challenge was the cinnamon challenge. Now, that is absolutely the worst challenge you can ever do because that will clearly kill you. Because by swallowing just raw cinnamon, it could end up in your lungs, and that could you make you
oh
choke on
yeah. I
it.
saw some videos of that. It's like yikes.
Yeah,
They're
so
really choking hard.
it is one of the most absolute worst challenges there is. Robert
Have
Freeman
you
asked,
tried the ice bucket challenge?
no, I haven't, but I've seen people do it, and the reason why it was mostly because of the to make people aware of ALS, uh, disease that was as unfortunately is uncurable. But there are
Oh,
research into the yeah, well, basically it's this disease affects your muscles. Eventually, you're losing control of your you. It's like they almost like you will eventually start losing control of your motor skills in your arms, your hands, and eventually will be almost paralyzed. If you have heard of Stephen Hawking's astrophysics, one of the guy who's in a wheelchair, he used a computer to speak. He was one of the people that actually had that disease. And here's the thing: people that usually have the disease, usually within 5 years after being diagnosed and having had this disease, dies.
yeah.
But Stephen Hawkins was one of the people. I think it's one of the few people actually lived the longest. I think it was around 11 or 15 years.
Yeah. What was the name of the disease again?
Stephen Hawkins,
No, I didn't say the name of the person. I said the disease.
ALS.
Oh.
It has another disease, and also another name, Lou Gehrig disease. Lou Gehrig was a baseball player who also had the same disease.
Yeah.
And Robert Freeman asked, "What is the first story of next year, and what time do you upload the videos in US time or UK time?" Um,
So I have
well,
to say though, I'm impressed by the like chair that Stephen Hawking had that made him actually talk without talking.
he actually had a computer that he had used to
Okay.
talk.
Honestly, that's
Um,
impressive that they had that technology even back then.
yeah, they actually made a movie based on his life before he had his before he was end up in a wheelchair. And
Yeah,
I'm
I've seen
surprised
it.
that he meant I haven't seen it, but I heard about it. For Robert's question, what's the first story to be made next year? The first story for next year. Well, honestly though, there aren't any. Well, I mean,
Real quick.
I mean, I have a list of stories that's gonna be uploaded for next several weeks. But unfortunately, those stories are non-MLP stories, so they're non based on non-MLP. At least I think. But give me a second, I can look it up. Come on. Let's go see here. Here we go. The first story for next year will be Well, January 1st actually, and it's a non-MLP stores and what time? Well, I'm actually uploading stores on my time, not
Yeah.
UK time or US time. Because if you're based on like which when you're referring to as US time, well, that depends on which time zone. US is
Yeah,
divided
that's
in
true.
multiple because since US is divided into
Like,
multiple
get
time
out of here.
zones, like Eastern time or Western time. So and UK is actually 1 hour behind me. So right now is like when it's 10:36 p.m. here, it'll only be 9:37 p.m. for them.
Yikes! In
And
here
if
it's like just like 4 p.m.
yeah, and if I live in Finland, they are 1 hour before me in time. So but they're roughly around almost. I can say almost. It would be like UK time if I will upload the stores. And I make the stores, but my girlfriend is the one who makes the list of which one that's gonna be uploaded. I'm
Oh
not.
wow,
Well, I can actually make stores and upload it on my own, but
that's
that
good.
really that happens rarely, not so often. But in fact, I know that this, but you should be expecting a big notification on December 25th when I'm uploading 15 stores, all MLP, and all of them are. Uh, give me a second. Nope. Not that one. All of them are. Come on. Yep. All of them are G4. Well, except for one. One story that is not even MLP story, which there's a story that Cody Darkhawk asked me a couple of weeks ago. There's gonna be a Sonic story based on his OC with a friends of his OCs actually.
Huh.
Um. So yeah. But I can say this. Only so far two stories are audio, but the remaining others are text and music. Um, I can say right now for which store it's gonna be for. Um, Terramar, the younger brother of Skystar, is gonna be in ship with Scootaloo.
Hmm?
Yeah, we know
But
that got your attention, mister.
Terramar, which is the younger brother of Skystar, in this story he is being shipped with Scootaloo.
Wait, hold on. I think I remember him in an episode.
Yeah, when they went to see when the CMC went with Twilight to Mount Eris.
Huh.
But this
Weirdly
story,
enough, that kind of seems to make sense.
yeah, but this story is not for you.
No, I know. Of course, it's not that one.
It's actually for Godzilla 2000. Trixie Luna Moon.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Godzilla. Oh
Koljora
god,
is for Malachite. Uh, Packers fan actually asked me to do one with Sonic and Fluttershy, and I have. Some of the stories that even Cody once asked me, Octavia with Big Mac, would also be made. Um, let's see. Trixie with Stone Like a Lemur is one of them. Twilight with Fancy Pants. Uh, Derpy with Rarity. Double Diamond with Twilight. Luna with Stygian. And Sunset Shimmer with Type Timber Sprouse is one of the stories that have been going to be made. Um, Actually, yeah, Robert, my stories are only being uploaded. The one not on the list will always be uploaded uh on the Mondays, or in my case, the Sunday or between midnight between Sunday and Monday.
Great God, that alright.
So
Really?
um, if you're referring to those Christmas stories, then yes, all of them will be uploaded one same day. I really hope though, for YouTube actually have this
Man,
a
my wife.
limit. YouTube has a limit of how many videos you can upload each single time. I think it's between uh 15 or 12. Terramar is, well, like I said, is um Skystar's younger brother. When the CMC went over to see went along with Twilight to the Hippogriff's home, he felt he didn't know which part of the world that he belonged to. If he wanted to stay up on land or the ocean. He even went back to Ponyville after that his sister Dina came home. That is supposed to be doing. And that was actually that same episode where um, Skystar actually made a friend with a cockatrice. This
Oh god.
bird, yeah, which you can turn into stone if you happen to see one, in the ice. But she made a friend with one, and she studied the cockatrice behavior and all that. Surprising, though, other than Fluttershy, whose her stare could even somehow controlling. Well, I would say control, but more as well, how to say handle the cockatrice. Um, right
Yeah.
now, I'm actually just I won't be uploading any MLP stores until Christmas. I'm just currently working on the 13th story, I believe it is. Yeah, there's a 13 of 15. And one of the stories is going to be audio, but yeah, the last one of the other stories that's going to be made after this one is Thunder Lane, Rumble's older brother. Now is a Wonderbolt with Twilight.
Hmm.
I even made another MLP story that's going to also be uploaded on Christmas, but this is not like a true love or true friend story. I always uploaded a similar story for each holiday, like Easter. Uh, if you guys remember, if you've seen a frightening Nightmare Night story that I posted for Halloween, that kind of story being made, and it's actually based on G5, all about Misty.
Hmm.
So right now, I really have no idea to say more about more of that since. And for stories for next year to be made, well, I really don't have any really um um well, I really haven't
Hmm.
decided yet. Do you think the reason Kosigalo was evil because that she had no family?
Actually,
Robert.
they never told the reason why she became like that.
Well, I mean, we don't even know if she's even orphan because when she first introduced herself to the CMC,
Oh no.
she told them that she actually had moved to Ponyville.
Yeah.
So we don't
So one of
know.
the things that made me a bit uneasy was when Kozigilo was holding like a kind of skull in her hooves. Like I was like, did she actually kill someone?
Well, I mean, who knows? But
Don't think
um,
that's right.
And Cozy Glow was for evil because she didn't have any family. Like I said, we don't even know that if she's an orphan out since I don't think that was even mentioned.
Yeah,
I
they
know that
didn't
Liz,
state
that
a reason.
she only said that she just moved to Ponyville, but I don't remember if she was moved from a known location. I mean, it is like Featherweight or no Peepsqueak. He had moved from Trottingham to Ponyville with his family, but Kozuglo, well, they never mentioned of a. If you would even go to MLP Wikia, search on her character, you won't see any mention of any family members at all.
Yeah.
But Cozy Glow, maybe she was always evil. Maybe she was one of those a sociopath. I mean, people can actually be born with those traits without knowing it.
Honestly,
But
though, kind of impressed that she actually outsmarted all of Equestria about herself.
well, but I think this might be the reason why she believed that after she had, I believe, before she moved to Ponyville, it's possible that she has studied a lot about this supposed magic of friendship is power, meaning that became an obsession of her. Is possible,
Oh, yeah.
but in the end, it's very hard to say right now because without knowing much about her backstory or background of her family or anything, it's just
Yeah.
hard to say for that. But there
Also,
is one thing that's very,
kind of weird thing that I noticed. Sorry.
but there is one thing that's still
Sorry.
puzzle to me about just about Kosoglov and Discord or Tirek.
What?
Tirek and Kosoglov were pen pals. They were talking over each other. They communicating with over by letters. And how is it even possible? Because Tirek was at the time in the Taurus, and I mean, no regular pony could just walk in and out, since the gates to Tartarus was designed to only open to allow people or ponies walk in, but wasn't allowed. They weren't made for letting others out simply. They were just only made so that you can walk in, but you couldn't get out unless if you use magic in order to do that. So how could a male pony just simply walk in, give it the mail, and leave? I mean, I doubted that some sort of secret entrance to the turrets. I mean, if that was the case, people
I
or
mean, I
ponies would have
assume
known
that
about
Cozy
it.
Girl probably like sent the thing there.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously she would have
I
the
mean,
means to like contour like all the freaking thing that Tartarus has that would keep her from talking to him.
yeah, and especially that now the magic was fading, and that Twilight had to use its big crystal magic in order to open the doors.
Yep.
Otherwise, so how did Chris Tarek and Cozy Glow communicate since the gates were made that you can only walk in, but you couldn't just simply leave at any time. It is one of the things about it. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So I mean, the reason why that Koziglo was evil, well, it's possible as she claimed before she was arrested by the Mean Six, is that well, she may have believed that magic of friendship was power, and that if the magic is gone, she will be the most popular character or individual that people or opponents would love her, be her friend. But
Yeah.
taking over the kingdom itself doesn't make you automatically the opponents to automatically be your friend. You have to earn the trust
That's true.
in order to be that. Like, and it's like if Cody, for example, if he was like Koziglo, and he wanted power. He wanted to take over his hometown, or if he wanted to be the president, like say,
Yeah.
I mean, the princess in Equestria is as equal to as equality to as a U.S. president. So if he tried to take over the power and be the president, he was expecting automatically the people would love him for doing this for them, and maybe it won't be because the people will like be against him. So is it the same thing as for Koziglo? Now
Yeah.
that's a blue Mario. That's a blue Mario.
That's a drowned Mario.
So yeah, it's very difficult to say.
Where the bicycles are.
So it's very difficult to say right now if Koziglo could have been evil, but I do believe that Koziglo might just simply be this evil because of her beliefs. Oh, the magic of friendship is so powerful, magic or something, and it might simply become so obsession of her. And as we know, obsession can be little take over other people's lives, be the most important things for them. So I believe the reason why she was evil is because her evils had this obsession. But
Thank you for throwing that like
it's
30 miles
50-50. It's
away.
possible that or not. We don't even know for sure. And I will be back in a moment.
Yeah.
All right.
So one of the things that seemed kind of curious to me is that if I put myself on the plan that Cozy Glow had, it seemed like like she wanted to be loved more than anything else. But the thing is, what made her want to be this that much loved? I mean, did her parents like not give that to her or something like that?
I don't know, but Mario was dancing on that bridge, so everything's good. Also, I don't know what the heck's going on in the background. Sounds like someone decided fireworks.
Ooh,
But I know.
fireworks! That
Wow,
reminds me
another
of
power star. Yup, I definitely got that. All right, thanks, game.
Oh wow! Blah, 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 blah.
XS Gamer by Manoa S. I hope I said that right. Says EverDrive. This is not the EverDrive, actually. This is an actual
Lol.
N64 that actually has the cartridge that actually has the game inside it. It's wild.
Oh yeah.
Somebody made it. I don't know who made it, but someone made it. I
Uh
just
huh.
have it. Seriously, I don't know if that's a firework or if that's a gun. It could be both.
A gun.
There might be a shooting range nearby. I actually don't know. Probably.
Oh, I wish I could go to shooting range. I wish I could try that.
I don't trust myself with guns.
Why?
But point is, because it's me, I'm a nervous wreck.
I mean, I would definitely try, especially the pistols ones.
Oh, actually, I don't know if I've ever shown you the backwards launch up. I'm going to now, though. You're about to witness something great.
Uh,
If I remember how to do it, that is.
every time I hear
Hold
the
on a
word
second.
great, it just makes me think of the great and powerful Trixie.
Not that.
No, obviously not, because Trixie is kind of a B word.
I knew it. She's a She's a bird. All along, I knew she was a bird. There you go. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait, what? Oh, there you go. Look at him go. I love it. Every time, it's so good. The backwards on jump. I just never get enough of it. All right. How fast Mario goes. It's so great. It's excellent. All right. I hope you appreciated how goddamn quick Mario just went, by the way, Kovo. Because it was amazing. Listen, when I have to do it, I'll turn it into a rocket. I don't know how I do it. I just do it. Don't worry about it. What's the sign say? It takes the power of 50 stars to open the door. You need 0 more stars. Yep, that's definitely how math works, alright. I have 3 stars. I need 0 more to get 50.
That's exactly how numbers work.
3 plus 0 means it's 50, right? Clearly. That's what the sign said. I love those. They're so great.
Though the thing
Seriously?
that makes me kind of uneasy is that a lot of people among the bronies kind of ship Tarek and Cozy Glove. Just like, why?
Oh, mamma mia. Doesn't even make any sense. Like, how can a guy that's like 1,000 years old or whatever date a child? It's just like,
yeah,
fuck.
That would be hella banned from freaking TV shows.
They'd be banned from Ecclesia. Wait, how am I supposed to know what that is? I don't even come from that.
Oh god, you reminded me of that good game. Oh, I love that one.
I'm not even gonna question. Alright, I've got 3 stars. I need 7 more. Or according to the sign, I need 50 more.
Uh-huh.
50.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia! Well, you're right. It's a me, Mario. That's what I say. Bob on Battlefield. Random Koopa. As I slide away on this shell, don't worry about it. It makes no sense.
Bro, Koopa.
Excuse me, sir. I would like to kick your ass. Seriously, what is that sound? I don't know what it is. It sounds either like a gun or it's something else. I don't know what else it could possibly be, though.
Honestly, if I heard that gun near my house, I would definitely get on the defensive.
If it's just a shooting range, then it's not a big deal. Well, what? You beat me? The easiest boss in this game? Actually, that's a lie. The Bomb King's a little easier, but... I did see a sign, though.
Honestly,
I want to know what that sign says.
If someone came at me with a gun, I would definitely, like, disarm him and, like, break his neck.
We worried about the Florida man, but we haven't worried about the Canadian man yet.
What?
Don't worry about it.
So, what I miss?
Not much. Honestly. I think the person in this comment said something, but I don't know what it was. I haven't checked it out yet.
Do you think Culture Club was a victim of grooming?
Oh. Is that what it says? Oh my. That's...
I mean, obvious answer is yes. I mean, considering that Cozy Glow is
Well,
not when
okay,
she's
yes.
like 10 or 12 years old, and Chris and Tarek is over one
One
is
second. Let's see
over a
something.
thousand years old. So, and how he somehow managed convincing her to work with her in order to, you know, take over the quest. Yeah. So I would say that would have been counted as a grooming in a way. Oh, bye, Kubo.
Probably got disconnected or something.
It's possible, but there are some things about this supposed grooming um coaching role that's doesn't even add up.
But
I mean, but I'd say that more likely it would can count as grooming her. I mean, Kozuglo was even though that she is a even though that she is a main villain as well, but could she consider as a victim of all this? Maybe. I mean, this happened way before she even met Tyrek. I mean, she already knew that he wasn't a Taurus. I mean, that was common knowledge. The general public knew that uh, Tyrek was were once in the Tatars for what he did in the past, and that he ended up down there, and he was released and went back again. So, in a way, he was a common knowledge what he was doing and where he were. So, but the way how he was reached out to Kosovo in the first place is, well, a little bit mystery. They never actually explained how he ended up in communicating with uh, Kosovo in the first place. They were just simply only revealed they have been communicating by letters like a pen pal system, but they never exactly mentioned how the mails ever even entered in his cell in the Taurus. And I was just uh, based on the one that it would be considered as a grooming, but and even if they would have been considering it as real, I don't think Hasbro decided to did it change that so they would have been so not like wouldn't be counting it as since this after all this a kid show since it's a kid show and they didn't want to bring any to those big adult terms in a kid show. I mean, most kids won't even understand some of the adult terms or words what it actually meant. So, but I may have to say it's would it count as being urban grooming? Then definitely it would. I just you know if Kusuglo wouldn't have been any form of being this obsessed of magic of friendship, and if she never had, um, but you may think, had she been somehow manipulated to be this good manipulator? I don't think so, because if you look at it for one point, in the beginning when she met CMC and how it helped her train to get accepted into school as a student. But in the end, she she made this look like said that after she failed the test to be accepted in, and that when Twilight found out who was actually been helping her, she was furious and demanded to know why the CMC had been doing this, why they tried to make her fail. That was only her, but it turned out in her long run plan. I do believe that at the time, even that Cozy Glow were already in contact with Tarek, it would make sense. Because if he were only being in contact with her just in season 8, when she did first appeared, I was like, okay, but but assuming that at least they were already in contact before she even moved to Ponyville in the first place. And but considering of Sonomer as a character, um, he literally fooled the CMC so easily. Despite being the same age, he was. Could she have been taught by Tarek how to be this manipulated, to be sort of manipulated? Definitely. Would she have been this manipulative as even before she could have met or talked to Tarek? Possible. It's possible that she could have been this mass manipulator even before she even had in contact with Tarek in the first place. But I mean, she managed to fool the CMC and the main six for so long, and she still even looked up to Tarek as a like a mentor, role model, or something. And Emerald, we don't even know if she's even orphan or not. I mean, what if she was orphaned and or she was in a foster care and she just took off from that place and just claimed that she had moved to Ponyville. But if it was true, we never saw her family, like no mother, no father, nor even siblings, or never mentioned ever since.
I'm pretty sure her parents would be afraid of her if she has some.
Well, it's possible that if she manipulated the CMC and the main six so easily, it's a very good chance that she could have even manipulated her parents as well. And that's a very common trait if you're a sociopath. You don't you like empathy for others.
Oh,
So yeah, I mean I'm not a medical trained, but for that professional. But you know, being her behavior based on her easily manipulated the CMC, the Bane Six, and others. So then yeah, I think she could have been a sociopath because she didn't even care
so if
much about. I mean,
sorry,
here's another thing. Despite that she was working with Chrysalis and Terek in season 9, when she offered herself as a volunteer to, test to see if they could handle discourse magic. And even as Terek once stated that no creature or pony in the time could never even could even control chaos magic. But here's the thing though. Terek absorbed all of Discord's magic but in season 4 per ending. But when she had all his magic, it was clearly that she was just manipulating him for believing to be so cute and innocent. It would not be surprised if that she was doing this all along, and that she was trying to have Discord's magic so that um, so she could use that to defeat the Chrysalis and Terek and rule Equestria by herself. But the only thing is, if that had worked, she would have easily done that. But only one small detail that backfired her plan is because she couldn't even control the chaos magic. In fact, if
I think I
Chrysalis
know
had been
why
so
they can't use his magic. because you would
I mean,
need
here,
Discord's DNA to even be able to control
not
the
no,
magic.
I don't think it's necessarily for that because his magic is very his since his magic is based on chaos, not real like actual pony magic. But both his magic and pony magic are linked to world magic. But despite
Yeah.
that, so basically, no matter what you did, you wouldn't even be able to control. I mean, if she had trained, if she had some of the magic, and that Discord himself trained her, maybe that she could have controlled easily taken over by herself.
Yeah, but we all know Discord would not fall for her tricks, though.
No.
I mean, he resisted Fluttershy's cuteness, so Cozy Glow
Uh,
should not be
yeah,
able.
I mean, it's possible. We don't even know about that. But overall, overall, Kozuglo was a manipulator of her own personal gain. She
Yeah,
manipulated this. She manipulated Chrysalis and Terek to give her the magic from Discord. She
yeah,
believed that using a Discord's magic that she could overthrow them and take their magic and take over the world by herself.
yeah,
If it had worked, if it had worked, she would have easily been taken. She could have not been the maybe then. The not even the main six wouldn't have been able to defeat her.
yeah,
She would have been the main ruler
yeah.
and
I mean, even
and
the princesses can't even begin to even test Discord's magic because they would
true,
lose at the very second they started the fight.
true. I mean, here's another small that. Even if though that if Luna and Celeste still had their magic, and if they tried to attack her, it will only be a stupid move. For if she had still the belt in her possession, she could simply just drain the magic from them by just a single second. So
Yeah,
what Luna? But if Celestia and I mean if Kozuglo didn't have the belt with her, then simply then yes, Luna and Celestia would have had a chance to defeat her with her magic.
but Cozy Glue did have Alicorn magic though, so that would have made an
Yeah,
actual
she
Alicorn
mean
battle.
yeah. But here's the thing: even though that she was turned an alicorn, she was an unexperienced one. She just simply turned into one and had even got to learn how to use perform magic. Because after all, she was a princess from the start.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So I
and
did
as
like that Cozy Glue literally aimed at Twilight first to eliminate the brain of the group.
mm, true, and as Robert Freeman asks, since Discord was a fake Grugar, is the real Grugar alive or dead? Um, I mean, we don't even know exactly. After uh, Gusty the Great took the bell, which weakened Grugar, and I don't think they mentioned that he died or anything. It just
Yeah.
he was just in a weakened stage. So
Though I was surprised that Celestia knew of Grogar.
uh, I mean, here's another thing: Grugar and Terek are both characters even was from G3.
I think you mean G1.
Both were actually, except Terek in G3 was actually not that a bad guy. He was turned into that form. He was an actually human prince. Was turned into that form. And
Uh,
Smooch and the Smooch that he was brought at the gala did also from G3, but he was a bad guy. He was purple, but Smooch in G5 and G4 was green and friendly. Well, except for yeah. So for Robert's question if Grogard's still alive or not, well, I don't think we know for sure, but assuming that after his own strength was cut in half, so to speak, so it's possible that Grogar is still alive, but just, or if I can remember correctly, he was sent to the stars, and that he was like banished to the stars, like Luna were when she was Night Moon. And for his other question, in the G5 Christmas story, if we refer to the one I made, and yes, that is involved Misty. And I can say, only give a brief what it was about. The story is said to take place months after uh, after Opaline is defeated, and that this and of course they don't celebrate Hearth's Warming Eve anymore. Earth ponies celebrate Winter Wish Day. Unicorns and and Pegasus celebrate their own version. So but basically in my Christmas story, um, despite Opaline is defeated, Misty um doesn't seem to have the same spirit of the holiday, and it is going to be based from the actual show. And here's the reason: since she was found by Opaline as a filly, and since she has been in Opaline's care for so long, and since Opaline doesn't care of any of the traditional pony holidays, so Misty hasn't even celebrated much of the any of the traditional holidays since. So she lacked of the experience. But I can also mention one detail, and this might involve that something that Cody would like. In this story, Hitch actually ended up dating one of the girls, and that's actually Misty.
Oh,
Yeah, because in the Secrets of Starlight, Misty and Hitch are ice skating, and they're holding Sparky between them. And to me, they look like they're like a family. So I'm based on that.
hmm,
And
interesting.
Hitch and yeah, here's the thing about that though. Um, if I wanted to do Hitch and Misty as a true love story, but unfortunately, there are no much pictures involved in the characters. I mean, at the moment at least, but it will eventually. But right now, I can't even say as when that story will be made. Just I have so many stories in mind to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
Though, who
I
would you
have
say easy though?
Issy.
Yes.
Hmm. If I would, if I would ship her with someone, since I have shipped her with Sprout and
Wait, what?
uh, yeah, I actually had made a story based on is a Moonbow with Sprout and Sunny.
Oh,
Well. You're
what?
been late, dude. You have been late. Over 1.5 hour late.
Hmm? Who?
Say welcome to our friendly cinnamon.
Ah, bruh.
It's just a cinnamon, that's it. Mamma mia.
I can't even come up with another better name. So I mean, to be fair, I plan to do a hitch with Pip at one point in SIP, but right now I really don't take any requests for undecided time
Hmm?
since for the past 8 years I have been asked to do stores, and how many of them I had even done? Not even a fraction.
Wait, with
So
all those
early,
stories you did, you still all that many left?
um, well, I can say this: for the past 8 years, I've been asked countless of requests, and so early this year, I went through all my love stores, true friend stores, dating stores, to all the comments to find all the old requests, put them in a document, 9 pages full of stores that I hadn't even made yet.
Oh wow.
Plus,
Damn.
plus Durapit Borough, which has over 200,000 shippings.
Yeah, I know that.
Plus, oh, well, I was saying the plus, but sign up for that. Even though despite that there are 200,000 on Derby Borough, some of them are not going to be made since some of the stories doesn't even make no sense at all. Like someone actually shipped uh, Twilight with a book, Rarity with and Rarity with Tom the Rock. So and
Okay.
there were yeah, and some actually even were even Apple Bloom was shipped with uh,
Big Mac.
Big Mac or
Mhm.
Sweetabelle with Miss Shirley.
Oh yeah,
It
there's a
doesn't.
lot of CMC and Shirley. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
People
There
just
are
have
even
weird, wild imaginations.
true. There are even about G5. Someone actually had shipped Sunny with Queen Haven.
Oh god.
Yeah, and that is one story I'm not gonna do as a true love,
Okay,
but
okay.
true friend. I don't see any wrong with that. But yeah, so plus I had over nearly about 400 or 500 stories on my email that Five Goddess had asked me to do. Well, suggested. So
Yeah.
yeah, I will be busy for several years from now. But I'm saying right now, at one point, at one point, I will stop entirely. But that will not be for many years. That will eventually want to get too old. And
Okay, yeah.
yeah, so another thing is that if I was also having my own family, that also means the progress or work of my stories will also be significantly slowing down because family goes first, stories second. Well,
Yeah, I understand.
but eventually, you know, since I'm currently working on one of the last Christmas stories, and my email is full of stories, and another thing is that I also been asked to do stories based on some games. Uh, uh, one game was called Dead and End or Dead or End, um,
That
which
one would not be good.
now I actually had done only a few of those already. Um, I also been asked if I would do uh, um, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stories. which I can, no problem with it. But here's the thing: from which franchise, from which show, there have been multiple Teenage Mutant Turtles shows over the years, like
Yeah, I can
the
confirm that.
original from yeah, so from like the original from 1987, and the one that's Game Guy likes from 2003, and the newer ones they
13
made,
actually.
2013.
Yeah, they
Huh.
made one like I don't think it was 13, but it's like 2007. The Nickelodeon one,
Let me
whatever the
see here.
Nickelodeon
Teenage
was.
Mutant Turtles
I think it might have been
2003.
actually 2007. I think it was.
So
Uh,
I did see the Lion
That
Guard
actually,
sounds
they
stories.
right.
Those are
actually they made one in 2003 as well. So
So yeah, that might
so if
that's
anyone,
probably the one I'm thinking of. Then.
yeah, so if someone asked me to do a love story based on from the Ninja Turtles, I was like, no problem. But the thing is, I hadn't even seen any of the newer ones, like Rise of
yeah.
Teenage Mutant Turtles. Heard about it, and if I'm gonna watch it, no reason. I don't like the sign of them, and yeah, that's basically more vital. Um, so if I would do any love stories, it's more likely will involve the
Bouncer.
2003 version or the original only, not others.
That seems fair.
Since for like I said, there are many versions of the series, and it's easy to be confused or be mentioned that. And someone will like say, what about okay, Pokemon itself, without a question, I then done that and will continue doing some stories and still have many ideas on that one. Um Digimon, I have done few already, so that is not a question. That will be continue to do. I'll also that depend on which one of the franchise because they made many
Hmm.
spin-offs for that one.
I think I
That
remember
franchise.
you starting the Lion Guard stories too. Like a little.
Lion Guard, Lion Guard, I actually seen before. So yeah, I can do a lot of stories based on that, and which I already have a few already.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few.
Um, but if anyone like asks me like doing a My Hero Academia true story or like that, then no. I've seen
Because
a
you don't
few
like that.
episodes. It's pretty much it. I've seen a few episodes of it. And if anyone asks about Naruto, seen a few episodes. I think it was maybe just one or two episodes totaled, and it was really not much for me.
It was.
I
Wait, did you say it was too much?
it wasn't like my something I it just wasn't my one of my something I wouldn't even want to watch. Dragon
Ah, okay.
Ball and Dragon Ball. Um, I only seen a little of one of this. Oh, there's another thing. They also made different versions, spin-offs of that.
Yeah, I know that.
So, Dragon Balls is another franchise I would unlikely would any stores of. It's not
Because
like
you don't
I'm.
know much about it and you don't like it.
It's about both actually. More like I don't like it much.
That's a
I
down
mean,
here.
I'm not
As
saying it's a bad show it's itself, but it doesn't suit my interest. I mean,
What
I don't
about
think
DC and Marvel?
Marvel. Um, yeah. Well, I really haven't seen almost none Marvel story videos movies at all.
Oh.
Adventures, Adventures, nada. Black Panther, nada. I've seen
Oh,
a
wow.
few. I've seen a few Hulks, Spider Man, Fantastic Four, which also involves, um, includes in Marvel and Guardians of the Galaxy. Nope, I hadn't even seen either first or second or third, and planning not to give it either. It's just not one of my favorite movies, to be honest. I I like. I mean, I love sci-fi. It just depends from which franchise I'm from. Um, Star Wars stories definitely will be made. Crossover stories still had some left to do, but uh
Yeah.
there likely would be not. They probably would be the last ones that were made, but at least for now, though.
Oh, by the way, have you seen Daughter of Discord or Bride of Discord?
My hand is slightly going upwards, even though I'm not pressing anything. Yo, I still have yet to read the, the to watch that. They can't talk. Actually, you know what? Kofu, give me a number.
Oh God.
I
56,
gave you a
like your
number.
age.
Did you? Oh, you did. I didn't notice it. Sorry. Although Kofu,
You didn't.
you can put a number down too if you want to.
Yeah, I know.
Not this close. I want all of Mario
Wait,
to be
hear me, I
different
said
colors.
56, like your age.
It needs to be more than 275 though, because that's my minimum. You have to
I
have a
just see
minimum.
the word seed on one of the buttons, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's how you get the Marios. I just need to make sure I don't have this Mario already.
Uh,
Like I said, the Switch. It wouldn't be fun if we did the same Mario again.
Sorry about that. My niece and nephew were gone to bed, so they want to say goodnight to me. So,
oh.
uh, as Robert said next, ask Twilight and Terror True Love Story video.
Oh God.
Mm-mm.
I
Maybe.
I think Twilight
Actually,
doesn't do really villains.
I can actually see that
Unless they get
happen.
reformed.
Mm,
Uh, Here's the thing. I can do Twilight and Terror. After all, I've done Twilight Sombra before, but it also, when like I said before, if people ask me to do a love story based on different franchises like that, it is also my final word if I want to do the story or not. So no matter how many people ask me if I would eventually do the story from that franchise, it is my final word if I want to do it or not. They wouldn't. It wouldn't no matter how many times someone asked me to do the story from that franchise.
Well, in my honest thoughts of a speech, I'm not sure about them being a love couple. I could just well see it as a true friend.
Yeah, I can do it as a true friend story or true love. It also, but of course, I've always asked Fire Goddess for for her opinion if she thinks I can do if I should do the story or not. Even though it's also my final word in the decision, but I always ask her for her opinion because it's always best to have a second person to ask for opinion.
That is true.
Because hear me out. Because when I did this um, Apple Bloom as a Cora, hang on.
Iginke, look what I said about this Mario.
Midberry shortcake Mario. Interesting. It's just a
No, we
happen. Don't worry about it.
we definitely need the Daughter of Discord stories because that would be banger.
No, Robert. The
Please
game
don't
he's
say
playing is Super Mario Randomizer. So And but like I said, uh, I'm the one that's made the final decision of when it comes to series like that. And I mean, it's just when I made Apple Bloom and Sakura, same thing. I mean, that was when I was expecting people saying, "How could you do the story? There's such age gap between them." And of course, I was expecting that kind of response back. If it happened, I would have taken down the video immediately, without a question of doubt. Same thing when I made uh, Peep Squeak with Luna.
Oh
After
god.
all, I actually did that, but I made sure that they didn't end up dating until like when he was in his past 18 or almost 20. Before then, they were just close friends. Same
Yeah.
thing as for Apple Bloom and Sakura, because that was the same thing. I
Yeah.
just I don't want to make things too drastically. There were actually one that made a comment in the story of Sakura, Celestia Spike, that this was I'd say it was pedophilia in a way. But I didn't take that comment kindly, so I removed it. But I always make sure my stories are always PG-13, and I always involved new ideas when I made the stories to make them more realistic. Like if I made a story that only true love or almost they end up in dating right away and there are no conflict, no drama, no action. It's just simply true love. How would
Yeah.
that be? So how good would that be scale of 1 to 10? Simply zero. There, because realistically, if the world would be like that, no trauma, no action, no like say cheating or against a partner or something like that, what kind of would it be? Boring. And my stories would have been boring if I like that. So I always bring some new ideas in stories.
Yeah.
And
Crossovers included.
exactly, crossovers, crossovers. It's. I mean, even though I did said before I will stop doing them, but since I have some left to do, mainly MLP with Sonic characters and cores, I will also continue. If someone asks me if I can do stories based on Sonic characters, I'm like, well, yeah, I've done it before, so it's something I could continue to do. But here's the thing about that. Um, it's well, the only thing is there's a different. It's you know, what we're talking about again?
Swedish, you might want to see this
I
question
forget.
that Swedish, you might want to see this question that Robert just asked.
Do I think Flurry Heart could be Misty's mother? Ooh, well, um, it's possible, maybe, but chance of that is slim. But it's
Yeah.
always a possibility. But here's the last small detail. Um, since if you're considering Misty have similar coat color as Alpha Battle, which is now her father, and Flurry Heart is light pink. So and since that story is set take place centuries after G4, but since Flurry Heart is natural born alicorn, that makes her immortal because
Yeah.
alicorns are in fact immortals, unless the statement from Opaline who said that she is immortal, if that's true. But even if we don't know for sure if Flurry Heart is the mother of Misty, and even as Dr. Wolf had once made thought of, what if Sunny's mother was a unicorn? Because we don't
Yeah,
know
we
anything.
never seen Sunny's mother.
No, we haven't. They never mention her, only her father. Here's the thing: Sunny's father knew that she would be the one to bring back the magic, even when she was a filly. How do I know
Yeah,
that? And how do I know that? Well, the family blanket. Because the blanket actually contained that someone actually had made figures on it that showing Sunny as an alicorn in Mirtam Bay along with Hitch, and other pieces showing Zip and Pip and Issy. So another thing about another detail that he mentioned in a recording, the blanket have been in their family for 10 generations. And 10 generations, roughly in our world, is about 350 years.
oh god.
So,
Wait, so that means
assuming
it's
it,
been that long it, since
so that
since
there
magic?
had been, yeah. Another thing is about in the same web episode, Tell Your Tale, about that, when that blanket was mentioned, even Queen Haven made the statement that after she saw the throne room on the blanket, had even that her throne room had even looked like that as it was pictured on the blanket. So that statement that the throne room has been like that for centuries. So which confirming, and as also in chapter 6, when that Spike mentioned that also that he and the others have been asleep for centuries.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Spike made his first official appearance in chapter 5, chapter 6, and he said that the dragons have been asleep for centuries, with
Oh, the
effect of
dragon.
the spell. Yeah. So I have to say, 300 years is the most logical answer how long time is between G4 and G5. But
Yikes.
so uh but
Though I
in
kind
overall,
of wish we could have seen Discord in the canon MLP Make Your Mark.
technically he has, but
Yeah, but
not in the
you
web.
can make is not canon.
Actually, it is canon.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because here's the thing: they actually before chapter 5 and chapter 6 was even broadcast or was aired on Netflix. This was around during chapter 3 and chapter 4. That No, wait, that was actually around chapter 1 or 2, I believe. They actually made comic book series, which they continued with new ones. This short series was depicted that someone stole the Pegasus crystal and turned out to be Discord. And Discord were alive. He had been living under the ruins of the former capital of Canterlot. And he wanted to destroy the crystal because he didn't want to bring back the magic. In his opinion, the magic was always the main cause of all the conflict in Pony's history. So that's the reason. So he is alive, and those comics are in fact canon. Mostly from back G4 series were not canon, but
Oh.
this one is. And I
Wait,
can
so
say
that
also
means
mention
Discord won't even wanted to like suppress his own magic?
it's likely because he has his magic back then, and also he is a friend of the main six, the new main six. since recently openly said Misty actually became the new main six member.
Yeah.
Another thing is, as we all know, Sakura was the only known zebra that was ever been seen in the show.
Though I got any context for that kind of leopard villainous that appeared in Makeup Mark.
And new zebras that actually appears in, yeah, they actually had, well, in comics of canon comics of the G5, actually has zebras in it.
Oh,
Yep. I haven't even seen them yet though, but they're only mentioned at least. And we know now, at least of Issy, we know at least a few of her family members. We know that she has a mother, an uncle, and a grandmother. All of them, her mother was mentioned, I believe, in was either in the first movie they made or in or one of the chapters. And the other were her uncle and grandmother was only mentioned in the comics. I think she has an uncle named Fissy, Fissy, Fissy. And for Robert came up with, I came up with the fur heart being Misty's mother in an episode where Misty and her dad were spending time with each other, and was showing a painting of an alicorn Misty in her ah, you know about that. They were actually showing another face of a G4 character,
wait,
Shining
what?
Armor. Yeah, they actually showed a framed photo or a painting of
Yeah, I'll
Shining
just do
Armor's
5 stars for
face.
this one just because I think it's fun.
Huh.
But another known character from G4 also was mentioned, and that was Moon Dancer. She
Wait,
was mentioned.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, this one, that unicorn that lived in Canterlot.
Oh yeah.
That that one looks like Twilight. Here we go. She actually has a relative that made appearance in G5.
Oh.
Her name is Elderflower, a unicorn, an older pony. She is actually not. Um, you was saying, um, Mo- Moon Dancer had a sister, also made appearance in the show, but a background character. So, Elderflower, she is actually Moon Dancer's great niece.
Hmm.
So when I first like when she mentioned
Yeah.
Moon Dancer, I was like, is it is there actually any reference to Moon Dancer? But there also is another She-Four character that made appearance in Tell Your Tale, Tree Hugger. For
Hey,
some
that's
odd
Thunderside's friend.
yeah, for some odd reason, in G4, in G5, in Mirtan Bay, there is this art museum, and the artifact photo paintings of of her face. Um, I don't know if you most of you guys have seen this type of art. They're face of a person, but different colors in multiple. They're like could be in 6 or 8 face of a person, but in different colors. That was even shown off as Tree Hugger in G5. So Tree
Oh.
Hugger as a photo, a portrait of her face made appearance in G5. Shining Armor's face and a portrait, which something that Misty had made. I was like, really?
Then, if shining armor appeared in pain, would that mean he's sort of related as like a grandfather, a great grandfather to her?
It's possible. I mean, it's possibility in that. Considering, um, it's possible. Usually, when you have a member in the family could appear like that, so it's possible something like that could happen. But right now, we don't know. And as Robert Freeman said, that Fleur Hart could be Misty's mother. Um, it is possible, but there is another detail that he may have forgotten about. It is also makes it could be against the idea that Fleur Hart could be the mother. It's because before the magic had returned, and before Sunny and her friends made the effort to bring back the magic, there were no trust between any of the Ponticans. So, if a unicorn or if a Pegasus would end up in Brotherwood, it would have been good. Same thing when Issy ended up in Mertambe. Same thing, same reaction. So if a unicorn ended up in Separate Heights, it would have been the same reaction. In fact, here's what I believe when I saw the photo or picture of Issy with a tennis ball on her horn. They honestly believe just putting a tennis ball on her horn would prevent her from using magic. Honestly, that is the stupidest idea I ever heard. But
Um, Swedish.
mm,
Two things. One, look at what I asked you in prior to, and two, do you think there could be some possible chance Tempest could return?
Tapes is just a normal unicorn, though.
well,
She
Or you
really
mentioned
isn't.
I mean, uh, not perhaps not herself directly, but if there was someone related to Tempest, maybe a, someone that maybe if she have a kid.
Though for some reason, I kind of have the kind of intuition that Sunny. Well, you see, have you noticed how like Sunny's like fur and mane are very like similar to like Scootaloo? So I'm like wondering if she might be a descendant of her.
Well, here's the about that. Like as Malachi or Cinnamon said, that Shangomer could have been Misty's great grandfather, something like that. It's always possibility, because but very hard being a mother. It's very almost some people like it's it's almost like yeah, it's possible. Others saying very unlikely, because if she were in her unicorn form with wings and a horn, and since the unicorns they wouldn't even trust any Pegasus or even Earth ponies, because as Issy did sing in the song that she said that Earth ponies smell like fishes, and that she even believed that Pegasus were eating their own kids.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So that is another. If the unicorns had that belief about the Earth ponies and unicorns, and the Earth ponies believe that unicorns use the magic to frame or fry the brain or reading the minds.
Yeah.
That's why they had those strange hats on their heads. So in a
Oh
way,
yeah, I remember that.
so there's a possibility of Fairy Heart being the mother to to Misty. Well, unless that, unless um, unless that Alpha Barrel and Flurry Heart did meet in secret, and that Flurry Heart didn't live with her family, because if even if that's Misty's mother, it would have been a Flurry Heart. If Flurry Heart would have been seen by other unicorns, it only caused panic. So it's possible that Flurry Heart could still be the mother, but she didn't live with her family in near time in Brotherhood. She could
Yeah,
simply have
well,
just lived somewhere else. And about that, here's one other thing about um, we know at least that Canterlot is still there, but just not inhabited by opponents but Discord. But there is one place. What about Crystal Empire? When the
well, yeah,
magic disappeared, since the crystal heart is the only thing that is keeping that storms away, and those storms are kind of almost like have its own mind.
yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, so if the magic is gone, what will happen? How would that affect the crystal heart? Definitely it would. And without the crystal heart's protection, the storm would easily would overwhelm the whole city and cover it in ice and snow. But would that make the end of the family there? Not necessarily, because the police would have simply just managed to leave Crystal Empire before it was too late. So Shining Armor and his family, like the Third Heart, could survive. And Flurry Heart eventually, as she is a natural born alicorn, she has just a longer lifespan, and her parents, since we don't even know if Cadence would live for 100 years or 200 years, or if she just live well, maybe 100 years as a typical average lifespan. Oh, okay, first we don't even know if the average lifespan of otherwise in ponies. But based on a few characters like Granite Smith and Grandpa, who turned to be late in their assumingly in their late 60s or early 70s or something. So, assuming if they live for 100 years, what about those who turned as an alicorn? Would they live for 100 years or just live 120 years? Maybe. But we don't know. But if Flurry Heart could have been the mother of Misty, well, it's possible. But like I said, it's also the kind of possibility that Flurry Heart didn't live for the family. I mean, though there is another slim possibility, but also the at the time at least, um, what if that what if there was an actual spell that somehow could turn a natural born unicorn into a unicorn? But it's a possibility. But here's the thing: what was most goes against the idea is that without the magic, it wouldn't been able for was wouldn't been any chance for Fairyheart to transform herself from an alicorn to unicorn. Without the magic, she couldn't perform any spells. But there is a possibility that she could have still been the mother of Misty. She might still live in Bralwood, but in more secluded, more secret. Maybe that she decided to keep herself, um, live like a hermit, like more like a complete insulated from the rest of the unicorns, not become one to cause any panic. Because if the ponies or if the other unicorns knew that Misty's mother had both traits of a Pegasus and a unicorn, and that the father is alphabetical, and how he have no problem to interact with that, they will only make her family an outcast, and that would have meant
I
alphabetical
mean,
wouldn't even. That also would have meant that
I know about.
alphabetical wouldn't even have his tea shop,
hmm,
and
Um, I
they
mean,
also
I know the Earth Ponies, Pegasi, and the unicorns didn't like each other, but what did it think about the alicorns though? I mean, did they even know about them?
um well
I mean, didn't they say like during chapter, I think it's 2, that it's like that the main five explained that Twilight took the magic into the crystals? Wouldn't she still be an Alicorn at that point?
yeah, she was still the unicorn, yes.
So
And that's
then,
another
obviously,
thing.
if she says, "Hey, let's get rid of these crystals and take them somewhere else, then that means that the police still at least listened to the alicorns. I think.
Well, I mean, there's possibility in that, like I said, and since, and another thing is, back in G4, one of the staff was behind the project, behind the show before she left. She's made a statement on Twitter saying that Twilight won't outlive her friends. But, and another thing is that we should mention here, if you remember the magical hologram of Twilight and
Yeah.
the end of G4 and the last episode of G4, just compared of the look of them. In the G4 last episode, Twilight looks like almost as if she had grown tall as Celestia. But in G5, the hologram, she doesn't even look anything like that. So, conclusion, that recording was made sometimes before she grew that tall, most likely. I mean,
Hmm.
but here's the what I believe. If Misty would have been the daughter of Third Heart, it's possible. Because if somehow, if Bell would have somehow been trusted to to Furry Heart, there's a possibility in that, but it's just right now, it's very hard to say if that would have been the case, if
Hmm.
Misty is related to Furry Heart or not.
Yeah.
And and will we may not and will we maybe know for sure who the mother is? Very unlikely. I mean, at the moment, we don't know if there's going to be a revealing of who is the mother of Misty. The same thing as for Sunny. We don't even know who her mother is
Yeah.
because they were never mentioned it. And another thing is like even for Hitch and his family. We know that he has a grandmother named Figgy, but we don't even know if she is the paternal or maternal grandmother.
Yeah.
So that we don't even know either. But Flurry Heart being the daughter and the mother of Misty, it's possibility, but also some fans may think say easily say no, there's no way Flurry Heart could be the mother of Misty. But if Misty would have been the daughter of Flurry Heart, it's another thing about that. If Flurry Heart was the mother, well, she wouldn't have lived with her family because she didn't want to have to cause any panic among the other unicorns, and she didn't want to have her family to be outcast. Because if they were outcast, Alphabet couldn't just simply walk back into Bradlewood and open his tea shop. He would be an outcast and they wouldn't even allow him in. So, but it's possible if Flurryheart could have been the mother, then yes. It's possible that she could have been the mother, but simply she either lives somewhere in nearby the Bradwood by herself and it's in more secret. Only what if that Flurryheart is the mother, but what if she left before before Misty was even old enough to even realize it? I mean, what if she left when she was just as a baby and Alphabet had raised her all along? But the question is, why would she have left? Would she have just been told by Alphabet to simply leave and never return? Which I doubt. I think maybe it's because they both agreed to simply her to leave, not to cause any problem for their daughter, and not to be to draw any mysterious attention to um to them. Like police would like start asking who is the mother of Misty. And it's possibility that Misty could still be the daughter of Flurryheart. But there's always a possibility for one thing we had to all consider for one of that. If Flurryheart even is still alive in that time, even though that Opaline herself said that she is immortal. And since Opaline was born in Skyros, the same place as Celestian Luna, and since she was around roughly the same age as both Celestia and Luna, and if she has been born around the same age, the at the same time as his royal sisters, and she's still alive, so that means Celestia and Luna are in fact natural born alicorns, without a doubt, and that they are still alive, more likely. Will we ever see them in the web series? Unlikely. Would that means that Fairy Heart could have been alive? Likely. And possibility of her being Mrs. Mother? Good chance, but very unlikely we'll ever find out.
Nope.
But there are always speculations that she could be the mother. And the same thing for Sunny's. Could Sunny's mother be a unicorn? Very strong possibility. Because here's the thing. Since Argyle, her father, he had no problem with he actually believed in all stories about that. And it seems that the game have frozen again. And like I said, Argyle didn't care about the opponents Imertan Bay thought about his beliefs of the ancient history was true, that all ponykinds used to be friends. Despite the other Earth planets in Merton Bay knew about it as stories, but they had also been told not to believe in such insane stories, to believe that always will not believe in those. And even as Sprout's mother, Phyllis, the owner of the former Candlelogic, she and others had always been statement of his beliefs. And did he even said anything hurt? Did he was he reacted to that angrily? No, it didn't. In fact, he didn't care if the other opponents in Maritime Bay thought about his, as long as he strongly believed his own beliefs. And in fact, he knew those stories was real. So Flurry Heart could be in potential, still be in potential to be Misty's mother, but I right now don't know. And and for Robert's question, who would you ship Ash with? Misty, Dawn, May, or Serena, or Chloe? Um, hmm. You know, wow. First, I just to mention that of all the uh, Pokemon series that's been made so far with Ash, I haven't seen all the episodes.
Oh
I
no.
probably seen only a handful of each episodes of each generation. But personally, Um, I would have to say Serena, but actually, no correction, either Serena or Lily, the girl that he met in Aloha. But since Lily is not on the list there, so I would say, yeah, definitely Serena. And for our turned Alicorn's immortal, um, that is a question we don't know though about that, Robert, since we know that at least natural born are likely to be immortal, or just will have an extremely long lifespan. But immortal for those who turn to alicorns, like Cadence and Twilight, ooh, now that is a hard cookie to crack. um, but it's possible.
Well,
But without any actual confirm from any sources, so like any official statement from the voice actors or maybe from Hasbro themselves, the the question is still up for debate. I would say mortal itself, but maybe just a bit of just maybe just a little bit longer lifespan. If you need any more seeds, I have many, many, many more to do. Uh, uh,
No, I'm good.
King,
Malachi,
have
I
you?
think Malachi's got it.
Well, here's the
Uh,
one that I have. At least a few of those. But for your question about Roberts asked me to do
like 30,000.
Twilight Terror as a audio series, audio
Well, I'm
story.
doing Malachi first.
You know,
Let's see here.
I would, if I found multiple pictures based on that shipping, then very there's a more if I manage to find multiple pictures of Tyrion and Twilight together. It's only one answer, no. It would still be as a regular story with text and music. But if I found only one picture of them together and that were used as a repeatedly, well, I still would could always I could also make it as text and music or audio. Of course, I don't. And here's the thing: I
You're
never
welcome.
decide in advance which stories that's gonna be as audio. I sometimes just choose about randomly. So so yeah. So I might just simply do those stories as um. But when if I will do Tyrion against Twilight, I can't give you exactly the right answer right now. But it's up to my. Well, I think I got this would likely say yes to make the story. So but if that happens, if I will make a story, I can't say right now when the story is going to be done because right now I have top priority to make my Christmas stories first. They have first priority to make first of all. After that, well, um, yeah. So I should also mention this. By next week, around the 20th, I'm actually taking break, and it's not like a long-term break. It's just for about a week or two or something like that. It's just something that I can relax. I still be doing streams as normal. I will still be on Discord and on YouTube as always, but just I won't be doing any stories at that time. So I just will be relaxing. I had done this for at least a few years now. I also do the same thing when during the summer when I sometimes take 1 or 2 weeks as just a break, just to relax to recharge myself. The reason is why I'm doing that because I keep want to do that to keep making stories of story after story so often, so many times in a week. Because if I do stories without taking a break, I would eventually be burned out, and which has happened before. I'm only doing this so that I can take break from time to time, so that I can recharge my batteries and just relax. But it doesn't mean that my stories won't be made. They will be made. It takes a little longer time. And my friends always expected that. And that's a cool Mario.
I know, I love him. He's great.
So yeah, so my stories of for next so as his first question before, what will be the first story for next year? Well, I already mentioned that uh as a non-MLP story. I should also mention those stories are all audio. And you know, I was actually never intended to make any audio stories from the start. That was just something I wanted to try. I still remember the first story I made as audio. Pumpkin cake with Applebud, one of Apple family's relatives.
Wait, Apple what?
Applebud,
Oh,
yeah. So it's just one of those. But right now, um, I still have plans to make more um, non-MLP stories, like Star Wars, Pokemon, and some others in the future as well. And right now, I can't say right now exactly because I just when it comes to Star Wars, I don't know. While Pokemon, I actually had a few in mind, like some Ash with Misty, Dawn, May, and Chloe, and yeah, but Serena and Ash is a love story. No, that's not happening because it already had been made. And of all my videos before, um, there was only one MLP video that on my channel that had there was a use about between 8 or 9 minutes long, well between 7 or 9, and had over 700,000 views. And it was not even a true love story or true friend story. It was called Shining Armor and Cadence: A New Life. But unfortunately, that video is no longer on my channel because I had to take it away after some copyright claims on that one. So but I still saved a copy of it. And that is another thing is that also going to be a little bit busy by next year is that I'm going to remake um some of the stories. Robert says I've seen people ship Ash with Jesse from Team Rocket, and he said I think it's gross. And well, I agreed. It's just something I wouldn't even consider. But would I consider him as true friend? Well, very unlikely.
Mm,
But if I would say Cassidy from Team Rockets as a true friend for Ash, then yes, I would definitely do that because she and her partner Butch had left um the Team Rocket. Do you stories all for Zelda? Not really. Actually, no. Wait, I have done a few other stories based of um Zelda, Princess Zelda, with a few other characters from different crossovers actually. But stories just only characters only from the Zelda games. Not really. I haven't done that before. I just don't know much about the game. I never played it, but I know at least a few other characters. Uh, but possibility, yes. Possibility to be stories all from Zelda, then yes. I was asked if I would do Spyro the Dragon as a love stories. Originally, it was a big no, but Malachite actually asked me more about it and started to change my mind. But of course, it's just I don't know exactly which most of that, and I don't know if most of my friends knows this. The character named Sparks in from the games, um, a relative of mine actually makes the voice of Sparks in the Swedish translated games. And he is also the same, he is the one who makes the Swedish voice for Ash Ketchum. But not anymore though, since Ash is long gone. Ooh, um, okay, I can almost immediately roll out game guys of in this question, but Kuvo, have you seen any of the Pokemon series?
I haven't seen this actual series. I just played the games.
All right. I don't know if Malachi has if he has seen any of the Pokemon shows series. Have you?
If he's even still here.
He's still there, but just mute because I can tell. Uh, Pokemon Horizon, the new based on the Paldea region, is going to be released on Netflix next year. And I actually had even seen the first episode on YouTube, a sneak peek, which in English translation. I'm actually a little bit curious to see what this new franchise is going to be about. I only know as far as I know, Team Rocket has not involved in this one, but there is a new main villain group called Explorers, and as far as I can tell, their main leader has never been shown, but he has been talking to his subordinates or his minions, and their main headquarters is a submarine. It's really surprising, and in fact, they are also looking for. And there was this ancient Pokemon traveler. He had captured multiple different Pokemon's legendaries, like a Galarian version of Moltres, Lapras, Lapras, um, a shiny Rayquaza,
Yes.
and his name is Lucius. I would have been surprised that they actually want to manage to capture all of them. But as for Robert's
Oh,
question about the stories of Zelda, uh, yeah, at the moment, I'm at to say I need to look more into the characters to know more about their personality. Just to see, so I will more maybe just read more about the characters, so I will you know what their character's personality is like. I wanted to want to make a story based on my beliefs about how the character will be like. So I don't want to make that mistake. As in the Zelda, Legend of Zelda TV series that they were made years ago, as Link catchphrase was, "Well,
well,
excuse me,
excuse
princess."
me, princess.
Bingo.
It's great.
Yeah, it was it's just crazy though. But Zelda's a love stories and potentially true friend. Potentially a possibility that though I kind of did like a very unique story of many years ago. What was it? Violet Parr with Wilbert Robinson. It was actually one of the few people asked me to do a story, and it was surprising. You know, I never actually intended to make any so great series, to be honest. I mean, you know, all of this me streaming, talking to you guys, is actually thanks to that when I first started doing my stories. If I haven't, none of this would have happened. I wouldn't have even met Figons at all.
It's crazy to think.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I even asked Figons about how she came across my channel, and as you all know, you were getting this always a list of recommendation of videos on from your channels of recommended from other YouTubers, and I was like, okay, it's not impossible to happen. Man, I'm tired. Even though I took a nap
I can
earlier.
see that.
Well, that is just that is because that my sister had all her 5 kids here today earlier, but now it's just the 2 younger ones, which is about 2 and 4 years old. Boy, they
I
really like me.
see.
Please don't say it like that. That sounds wrong. Mamma mia! I don't know why I'm saying it as a body. Don't worry about it. Oh, jeez. Okay, hold on a second. What am I doing here?
Nani? You look like a girl with your pink cap.
It's purple, but okay. Does this show it as purple on this? Kinda. Not really.
Oh God, you got Luigi's hair. Why did you rip off Luigi's hair to
Oh
put it on your
no!
head?
The game froze.
Oh, dang it!
Alright, it was gonna do that at some point, I knew. Actually, it's done it a couple times, but sucks that it did it on the first star I get. Kovo, you had something to do with it, didn't you?
What?
Even though
What?
you weren't
No.
even physically here for you to even be able to do that.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Oh, I can't even do 121 because that's my minimum. I've already done 121 before, so
Lol.
I think I did it on stream. I don't remember. Anyway,
Anywho.
what are we doing now? 658? Or just 58 that
Sorry,
works?
I just the word enter C that just.
We have 658, but there's a 9 at the end. Alright. Let's see here. Do we have 658 on here already? I don't think we do.
What?
Oh, I'm back.
I'm checking my list.
For Robert's question for my Q&A, all the two is from Little Shop of Horrors. To be honest, I never even heard of that one. And also, when Robert asked me that, I wasn't really sure what he actually meant by it, since he only mentioned the name, and it's like I wasn't sure what he meant. But now he mentioned here.
Yeah. Oh, congrats for your new subscribers, by the way.
What?
What?
I said congrats for your new subscribers.
Yeah, I had a few subscribers, and I lost a few over time over the past few days. But it happens. I mean, sometimes I have gained a lot of them. Suddenly I have
So
lost a few.
it would be great if
I mean,
sometimes we could make like reaction videos.
true. Let me see. Little Shop of Horrors. Let me see what it's about, since it's like the first time I ever
Oh
heard of it.
no.
It's kind of like Avenue Q in a way, is how I'll describe it.
Horrors.
Except not really.
It's like Uncanny Valley. I'm kidding.
Okay, let me see here. Apparently, they already even made They apparently have made it a musical.
Yeah, think of it as a horror version of Avenue Q. That's how I'll describe it.
Okay,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Where the heck did that star go? Oh, there it is.
if Robert is like asking to there's a love story between Audio 2 and Jaws. Mm, I would at the moment I would say have to say no because I had never even heard of this movie until right to this moment. So I can't say. Jaws, I have seen, but not the whole movie, but I do know at least what it's about.
Ugh, I
A
hate
little,
freaking
li-
suck movies. Aside from the Megalodon, that was good.
so Little Shop of Horrors. Right now I would have to say no because like I said, I hadn't even seen or even heard of it until now, and since if that's a horror movie, um, I might have also to say because I wouldn't like to do last stories based on horror characters. Um, I mean, I've always mostly because of thing to considered my viewers their their reaction on this,
I got the womp. It's just
and
embarrassing.
I should also say this. I saw this video a while back. A scientist turned a girl from an actual tomato. Yeah, like she was transformed from a tomato to a human girl.
Okay.
I think it was Rotten Tomatoes or Attack of Tomatoes. Um, so yeah, so basically, I were very unlikely to do any last stories based on horror characters like, let's say, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and all that. It's just for a reason. Those characters in the movies don't really care much about romance as much at all. All they care about is
Yeah, they care
to
more about the
kill.
other thing that comes with it.
True. And as I don't know since I hadn't even seen much about the classical horrors like Halloween, Freddy Krueger's characters like that at all. Not even the Friday 13 movies. But I can say
I
this.
mean, I did see pretty much all of the Nightmare on Elm Street, and weirdly enough, now that I can like control my dreams, I'm able to outfight Freddy Krueger in a dream power match.
So I can say this.
I'm not even gonna ask.
I actually
Well,
have
Funny.
seen only seen one Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. That
oh
that
god.
movie that movie itself has well, it's a franchise has a cult status among its classical horrors. I have to say that movie that I saw was not good.
Would you
It was just
rather have to fight Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers?
being chased by one of them. None. And also Michael Myers franchise as a Halloween series is now officially done.
Yeah, I
They
know.
managed they since they in the Halloween ends, they finally kill Michael Myers.
Oh, so
Like
he's actually dead?
yeah,
Andy?
they
Damn, I never
he
thought
is.
that Michael Myers would be actually dead.
Yeah, they no matter how many times they shot him, burned him, stab him, he would survive. But they managed to put him in this industrial uh
Oh
shredder,
no!
and and all I can say is in detail, only one detail, the head was crushed in pieces and blood spread all over the place. All I can say. Um. Oh, he's dead. I was just telling you there were characters are from, but I would ship Audrey 2 with Piranha Plant and Jaws. I would ship him with Bruce from Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo. Oh, okay. Seen the movie. Bruce,
I think it was the shark.
Jaws. Bruce is the shark from Finding Nemo.
Yeah, he is the big old shark that goes, "Hello." It's all right. I understand. Why trust a shark, right?
Yeah. Well,
Hold
actually,
on a second. You mean the piranha plant from my games?
there is
They
actually a
aren't
few
even.
shark.
They don't even talk. How's that gonna
Well,
work?
there, there is actually a few shark species in the world you can trust.
Ugh.
My country actually have one native shark species on the west coast. I never seen it, but it's peaceful. Whale shark is peaceful, but
Oh, I
no,
definitely would not approach a great white shark.
yeah, but
Mm.
as making love stories based on that, no, okay. You might you may remember the guy Travis that asked me some stories before in the past. He did ask me one very um out of out of the world type of story. What was it Catherine Halsey from Halo with Godzilla? The true love.
Ha ha! What?
Yeah,
I don't think that's
which
possible.
so to me it wouldn't make
Yeah,
no
I'm gonna try
sense.
that one
For
actually.
she's a
And
human
plus,
and
he
he's a
hasn't gotten
liquid.
into his head yet but that you've been having some of those Halo stories, copyrighted and deleted sometimes.
Those are
At
made.
least my
Those
ships
hasn't
make
even
sense.
been. Well, I mean, my Halo character stores hasn't even been affected much yet.
I mean, at least my shippings make sense.
Well, I
Dude,
were in the past considering to do MLP line guard stores as true love, true friend. Um, but I haven't even come so far to do that. I just forgot most of them actually. Um, so but already two as for from Little Shop of Horrors, yeah, very unlikely. It's most because of that I just, you know, I I don't feel it's very appropriate to make stories based on horror characters to one of my fans and viewers. Even though the majority of the viewers are from 18 upwards. I mean, it just to me it doesn't really seem to be something I would do. Especially for if I'm like, oh, can you do a love story based on Jason Voorhees with some character? Well, I would say no immediately because I know that Jason Voorhees doesn't even has no slightest care of romance. All he cares is
Definitely.
he only has his stab, 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 killing. All that's most of it. So
Yeah.
but if I would have to say doing a love story being based on like a dragon and a pony,
Mhm.
okay, like spike and rarity, no problem. Um, I actually was considered doing some new to make stories based on my own uh original characters of pony and a dragon, maybe a hippogriff with a pony. I
Huh.
also is planning to do my own
See?
sea pony
I
OC.
well, I gotta go eat.
All right. Yeah, I might
Um,
end this. I will end the stream when I reach 3 hour
Swedish.
mark.
Have you ever thought of doing a true friend of Soren in Flash Sentry or Soren with Spike as a true friend?
Uh, I haven't really thought about it, but I don't see no problem with that.
Hmm?
So
Um,
yes,
Also, when I asked you last night of which story you were working on, you said you were working on the one story I asked you for, the um Moonberry with Flash Sentry. Um, remember when I asked
Um,
you about that?
uh, no, it wasn't Flash Sentry. It was actually was it Shining Armor?
Yeah, but you said she had ideas.
That one. That one. US. No, I hadn't even worked on it,
Uh,
and I don't think it was even on the list.
well, you said a story that I requested for Fire Goddess, but you said she
Well,
had already had ideas for the one with her
well,
and
the one I was
Shining Armor.
referring to was actually the same. The one I was referring to was actually Shining Armor with Moonberry.
Nah, and but I said that I'll let her have it since I think she has got some good ideas of her own. And I was gonna let her have the credit of this idea for her, which was why I changed
Uh,
my idea
Yeah,
name
because
to Flash Century.
Possible. And for Robert's question, for the True Love video, do characters have the ability to speak? I don't know what he actually is. Um, what he actually meant by that question mark. I mean, just to be clear, just I'm a little bit confused there. Um, when I make the audio stories of based on male or female character, I'm actually trying to make my voice sound like almost like a little bit more uh, as a female is possible, but sometimes it's not that easy. I mean, some people might ask, why don't you just ask other people to make the voices for some of the characters? I mean, I mean, not a bad idea. But the thing is, when I'm making my audio stores, I don't even when I make my MLP audio stores, I don't have no script to them at all. When I'm making my non-MLP characters stores, that is also non-scripted. The only part I would consider as a script is only where I mentioned the names of the characters in the story, so I easily remember them. But otherwise, there's no script. And to my regular stories, there are no script in those either. Well, um, correction. For most part, they aren't. For a few occasions, Malachite side artists, for example, have occasionally given me some request of the story to be like when they weren't what happened. So I did that, and I'm
Hmm,
always open to do that. And
Swedish.
and some of the stories I've been asked for many years now. As Robert did ask me if I would do the same stories as audio. Those are the previous ones that already made as audio. Um, no, I won't. It's not like I didn't like the idea. It's just that the reason is that most of my viewers prefer the text and music
all right,
actually.
Because the YouTube library has some pretty good musical pieces.
not just 2-5.
Yeah. YouTube actually has this auto library where oh that's a
Oh my
green
goodness,
Mario.
look at him.
Oh my goodness! We got the Count from Sesame Street in Mario.
One,
Um
two, ah.
um but some of the story
Yahoo!
but you know Robert did ask me one pretty very good
Hello.
question. One of the hidden characters he thought that he thought sorry he asked me a, a number of uh, characters what type of music they would have liked. Now that was actually a very interesting question. I admit to that, but some of them were very easily to already know. Like rarity in the store in that question would easily be classical musics. And
Mm.
Ap- Apple Bloom and Applejack definitely country music based on what their characters are like.
If I
Um,
if it, if the military I know the military had some really good pieces. The one military piece I could see being Rainbow's theme is Wild Blue Yonder for the Blue Angel planes.
true.
So, this is the final seed, by the way.
Hmm?
What a way to
He
end
said,
it
for
off.
example, Robert said, for example, if put to have a character who speaks words and you have to put them with a character who speaks the sign language. Um, I haven't really done that before, and honestly though, I really haven't thought about it. I mean, it's not like I wouldn't do it. It just never crossed my mind.
Hmm. Um,
Um, but I think it's actually not a bad idea.
I um I kind of had a little thought. I know said I probably think of some ideas for Moonberry with Flash Sentry, but if I understand, me and Fire Guys had ideas for her OC with Shining Armor. I mean, you could. I mean, it's not like you could do two versions of it, right?
Uh, Possible, but right now I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I probably would, but just never thought about it. But if I had to say, the next story I would consider to do for next year, or at least some stories, um, I may have to say probably some Chrysalis story.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, Chrysalis, of course, there when it comes to some stories that I consider to do, but they always that always the main major factor that people should understand and also consider to do is that no matter how many characters that particular character has been shipped with, some can potentially be possible happen, others are definitely could happen, but some would make no sense. Like
Swedish, I said this was the last seed.
I know, I just put it there for random,
Okay, I'll
but you can,
making
but you,
sure.
but you can look in the book you have if we have done any of those before, just as a reference. But also, like say, someone did ask me if I would do a story or stories based on, let's say, um, okay, now we just make it random, like Celestia, Luna, and Discord as a true love, with
Um.
one male character, two females. Well, that is definitely a no. Someone even asked me if I would do any club fictions stories, but
Hmm.
that is a hard no.
Here's one. What about um Chrysalis and Luna?
True love, yeah, that's a
Checking
definitely a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
real quick.
Because I
Give
don't
me
think
one
you've done
sec.
that before.
I don't think I have. You know, one of the most funniest stories that when it comes to Chrysalis stories I now done, is Chrysalis with Powerpuff, Flubberpuff. She is a funny character, but she is pretty weak. She doesn't speak, but makes those
Um.
fluff sounds. But
Hmm.
uh,
You see Chrysalis being reformed by Starlight Glimmer. I wish Chrysalis was reformed.
I actually have seen some art me that how Chrysalis would look like if she was reformed. But honestly, though, I don't think Chrysalis would even take the chance. There's
Not
one of the
well. In your stories, you could have a
oh
reformed.
yeah of course yeah, but in the official show, I doubt it. There is one
Hmm.
character in the official franchise, Opaline. I think Game Guy asked me that, or was it Cody, or was it Robert? I don't really remember. But it was someone that asked me if Opaline would be. No, wait. I think it was actually Game Guy who asked me that like 7 months ago. Still saved it. I still kept that question in mind since why not? Since that Q&A was
This
supposed
is
to
how
be
it goes,
happening.
I guess.
Uh, but at the time, I thought maybe that was a possibility. But now, very unlikely that she would even consider
Mhm.
that. But the thing is, when it comes to the title Queen, there are only a few characters in the franchise which actually had the Queen: Chrysalis and Novo from the Hippogriffs, and Twilight.
Well, don't leave out Celestia's mom.
True, but we don't know anything about if those characters are even canon. Though, of all the franchise of the characters will be based on the alicorns, there only been female alicorns, but there is one male alicorn named Leon or Leon, but he only appeared in a French comic book, and he's a cousin of Celestial Luna. But in my opinion, not canon. There is even, in fact, another relative to Celestia and Luna, which is a king of the mer people or mer ponies. He looked more like a giant fish than like a pony or something like that.
Like a
Also,
pony version of the god Neptune.
kinda, but he also to me is not even non canon. In fact, um, we know that Sakura's homeland is very far away, and her homeland only made appearance in the first comic of season 10 of G4. But um, here's the thing: in the journal of the two royal sisters was considered canon for a long time. In that book, it's where turnout there is a colony of zebras in every forest, and that home is protected by a magical barrier to keeping those dangerous animals outside. And that Celeste or that Luna made friends with some of those zebras. If that still considers canon, no idea. Could you have Queen Chrysis be reformed by Starlight in one of your stories? Uh, well, uh, I don't see I don't see any no, uh, I don't see any issue with that. Of course, it's depending on the course from which stories they will be in. If it is Chrysalis, and of course, that depend on who is she is shipped with. I mean, I've seen that Chrysalis have been shipped with uh, Celestia, Luna, Twilight, Sombra, Discord, and many others. And even
Hmm.
Fluttershy. So, yeah, I can always see the possibility that the Chrysalis can be reformed by Starlight. But if it's not Starlight, there are in fact two other characters I could consider to see it happen: Fluttershy or Discord. But I actually had made a few stories based on other bronies. Firebrand with his now wife Aramau, and what's his name? Vespio with his now wife. Well, her name is Katie, like Kate, but her username is Midnight Sonata. And the thing is about um, Firebrand and his wife Aramau, in real life, they were told they were expecting their first child together. It's twins, and
Um,
they even made this when the both families to twins. From in Firebrand's family, there are no twins, and in Arrowmouth's family, no twins. And just seeing how the reaction to families both from like the twins, especially Arrowmouth's real life brother.
Swedish.
Hmm?
I had a reformed idea. Remember when I shared with you my wolf alicorns in Discord?
Yeah, you can do that.
Um, and I gave you some ideas for stories. I'm thinking of actually keeping of a change in one idea. Remember the two wolf alicorns that I said could be good with Chrysalis, Midnight Blazes, and Spire Blazes?
Hmm, possible. Queen Chrysalis being reformed by Starlight Glimmer at point of his request of Chrysalis Starlight. Um, Before I answer that, I need to look. Starlight Glimmer.
Yeah, I'm comparing
Ugh.
these seeds to the list right now. That's what I'm doing.
Starlight Glimmer with Chrysalis. I need to look first if I had made a
25
story or not.
seeds.
If I had made a story already, I won't do it as an audio. I just, I really need to just look that first. After all, I almost made nearly 700 love stories for. Oh boy, I've been busy for the past few years, but okay. Yeah. Nope. Trixie, Sunburst, Ghost Horror,
That's on
Shining
there.
Armor,
1545.
uh, Lightning Strike. Um, Another thing is, people actually even asked me to do, well, in the past, for someone asked me to do remake of the same story but in different language. Like, so far, only two stories have been made in Spanish and French. When that happened, I had to use Google Translator because I don't speak either Spanish or French fluently. So, and another thing is, if someone asks me to is like Chinese or Japanese or like that, or Russian, definitely, absolutely not happening. I mean, considering Japanese, Chinese are two separate language, and Russian are have its own writing system, so that's a hard no. Um, but if it was being Spanish, I likely wouldn't do any other stories of a different language ever again. So back to look that up. Let's go see here. Sunset Shimmer with Starlight. Let's go see here. Exquisite Virgins. Starlight. Uh, Starlight with Soren. Starlight with Kovo. Starlight with Derpy. Yes, give me a second there.
Alright, let's see here.
Um, no, I haven't done Starlight and uh,
4.
Queen Chrysalis yet. So, but I can say right now, it's if I will make the story, it's not really likely it would be audio, but I can't guarantee right now. So it's just um you know a lot of stories being planned first of all. So it's I can't give you a promise right now, though, Robert, if I would do it as audio or not. It's just um I had to look it more into things like further that. But good thing I did look it up. If I had made a story already, I wouldn't have made it as an audio. But I mean, if it was already audio, then I wouldn't even remake it again.
Alright, 97's also on here. Gotcha.
Let's go see here. I will about to end the stream here soon, anyways. So the next stream, uh, will be next Friday, early Christmas stream. Um, and after that will be the 29th. Will be an early. Oh wait, the 30th will be an early New Year's stream. Unless no, no 30th will be the most likely potential that one. But the 29 will be the last game show stream for this year. And I think I will pick the topic from that one. But which one? No clue. I was considered doing the second longer cryptid quiz of 246 questions. But I'm not sure yet. I could always do some others. I mean, I hope I could do the world history, which has. Let's see, world history. Come on, where are you? I have over 40 plus quiz already made, so some of them have not been updated. Like Norse mythology, which I said earlier this week. That was fun. Come on, world history. Come on, how many questions are there? 124. So maybe that one or something else. But right now I don't know. But if I did ask Five Goddess of this idea of Stone Glimmer and Chrysalis, she would definitely say it's a yes. But I can't say right now when that story will be made. It's just since I technically don't even still taking in any request yet. And for how long?
I mean, do you still have my ideas of the LP Thousand Friends crossover?
Still have them, yes. And but of course, since like I said, I don't take in any requests for a long while now. I don't know how long. It's just for I can say right now, by early as next year, I will try to focus on the stories that's been asked as for those past 80 years. So but occasionally I may take it in. I mean, people can still leave requests on my channel on the videos, but doesn't mean I will do them right away. Greek mythology as a quiz for my game show stream, Robert, what have been thought of? As actually a topic that I definitely could do as based on. Thanks to my memory on a lot of studies, I can do a lot of Greek mythology quiz, but when it comes to Norse mythology, ooh, now that's a bit tricky. I might be able to do two or perhaps three or maybe more. They depend on the sources I can use. But there's potential. And Robert Freeman's OC is what I have to say is actually cool. Kind of remind me a little bit of Shadow the Hedgehog. You know, I'm actually looking forward to see a Sonic Free Bird movie sometimes next year. And so yeah, so for Robert's ideas, they will be done, and it just does not know when. I have so many stories to be taken care of, and you have no idea. Since basically, I am the sole person who makes all the videos on my own. I don't have any assistants or other workers to help me with that. If I did, I probably would have made many more stories than already. Uh, right. Probably should end here
Mm,
right in a moment.
right.
Um, Super Millionaire,
Sure thing.
right? Well, until next time will be next Friday. So yeah,
Um. Also, Robert, if you want to, you're welcome to join us in future streams.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. I should also to mention, I should tell Robert there are in fact rules in my streams. Very simply, also they're pretty simple. Um, just make sure uh, no bullying. Um, if you would by random chance been swearing or something, it's fine. It
Hmm.
just don't make it like a habit.
Swedish.
But I'm also hmm,
I had an idea. If you can manage it.
right.
What if one of the first few stories you do for the new year is questions based on some of your true love and true friend stories that you've posted already?
Mm, I don't follow.
I mean, going back, probably watching some of the videos, maybe listening to some of the audio ones, and making down questions about on them.
Like a quiz?
Yeah,
Huh? Never follow that.
questions based on
Oh,
the stories you posted to your channel.
probably I could do.
Hmm.
I just don't know.
Like
Um,
maybe
but yeah,
just 100 as a total.
mm, I mean, it's possible. Um, but yeah, like I said, the rules, Robert, is as long as that people are um friendly, you're free to joke around, but remember, no jokes that are were considered as you know sensitive and most of all insult. And and of course, no racist comments or anything or something like that. It's just not okay because there is, in fact, two options on this channel, on this streams. If say if game guy would do something further considering, like I said, those rules, I would just simply kick him out. Or if it repeats or two words, I could ban permanently unless he makes a new account, for example. But so far, I only have been kicking out some people more like if it's a first funny joke. But ban people, uh, not really. I was pretty close to ban Lord. Well, that was the reason because the reason is because he was using a different name and we didn't know if it was him or not. So, but I was by of course I didn't do it though.
Mm.
But if you want to join in the streams, sometimes Robert is always there because the links is always in the comments. But if you can't or won't, we respect it. We do. I'm just also saying, if you would do show up and there are already 6 people in the stream, I can't add you in. There are only 6 people max. I mean, if I had premium of StreamYard, then I got 10 people. But I'm not willing to pay for service. As long as I have free service, I'm fine with that. So yeah, I probably should end it here. And this has been an interesting stream, fun as well. So see you all next time. This is Switch Double signing off. Bye.
Bye.
And goodbye.